Hi, everybody. Addie, nice to see you. Thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me over.
Yeah. So, Houzz, you guys have done really well. You've got 35 million monthly unique users, nearly a million. You've got 800,000 or so professionals on there connecting with those users. You're in 10 countries, loads of milestones. But you started off pretty modestly, right? You had a beginning kind of as a pet project, right?
It was our side project. Alon,
Right.
my husband, and I started it as a side project.
Right. It was basically like a small site you did to renovate your own house, right?
Yes, we did. We bought a house. The process itself was really bad. So we just wanted to make it better, and it started as a side project with our community in the Bay Area and just took life of its own.
So at what point did you start thinking, this pet project could actually be something? Like when did you go from being like a sort of avid home decorator doing something on the internet because it's an easier way of keeping track of something into this, actually this could be a business?
As I said, it just took life of its own, and we started getting lots of feedback from both the professionals of the industry, the architects, the designers, the contractors, and so on, and the homeowners, that this is something that they really like. They more than liked it. They loved it, and they started participating and investing a lot of time in it. And we started seeing it growing outside of the Bay Area to other parts of the US. More professionals joined. And we just decided that, okay, if we have the right people with us, which we were very fortunate to meet the right people, the right investors, we'll do it.
So you were just sort of, it just grew organically really though in the early days, right?
We did.
Okay, so fast forwarding a tiny bit ahead from pet project to starting to become a business, at what point do you, as a very early founder, almost accidental founder, go from thinking of the fun stuff you do with it to a product roadmap? Did you start thinking at what point were you thinking, you know, we could put advertising here, or we can charge people to use this, we can do marketplace, all the things that you do now. At what point did you work out that roadmap? Were you still bootstrapped when you were doing that, or?
We were bootstrapping for a long time until we actually raised the first round from Oren. But the product was our first priority from day one. I actually loved going back and telling the story of how did we found it, because lots of the things that we did early days actually stand for the company today. First of all, it's our passion, right? And the passion was to create a product that we will love, that the people around us will love, and we still stand for that. User experience product were always and will always be our #1 priority. So it was embedded in-house early days when it was a side project, and we didn't have to build a roadmap. It was what we wanted to do.
Right.
We still use the same slide that we created early days to say we wanted to remove the barriers between people and great design and great service providers, and just make the process of creating better homes, better lifestyle for themselves so much better. And it's exactly what we're doing today. Money came later on, and it was never #1 priority.
Okay, so can you hear me? So the bootstrapping, so in a conversation that we've had in the past, you've said bootstrapping was like the best thing we've ever done, we could have done. So how big did you get when you suddenly thought, actually, we can't bootstrap this anymore? Because I know that for a lot of founders out here, I think this is a question that happens to a lot of people. It's not every startup that has funding from angels or seed investments and everything.
So we didn't actually have the money from Oren or from Sequoia for a long time, and we didn't try to raise it for a long time. We were running it as a side project for more than a year. And actually now when I talk to many entrepreneurs, I said, in retrospect, that was a great thing, and you may want to consider it too if you can. It's not for every startup, because instead of chasing investors, you are very focused on building something, and you are proving to yourself and to your future investors that this is a good product and you can actually execute it, and it's a great position to be at. It's actually going to help you to get the best investors out there if you do it right.
Right, which leads me to my next point. So you guys have raised to $213.6 million to date. That's what's been disclosed, at least. From really top shelf VCs. I mean, you've got Sequoia, DST, New Enterprise Associates, Kleiner Perkins, a ton of other people. It's like a list of just the biggest and most prestigious names. So what's quite interesting is, do you think that the bootstrapping actually helped you guys get your foot in the door with them, or did they come to you because of you live in Palo Alto, so was it like they heard it, was it word of mouth that got them there? What was it that
I think you nailed it. The bootstrapping really helped us because while many founders need to prove when they try to find their early investors, one, that they have a good product in hand, and two, that they can actually be the one who are going to scale this, we didn't have to prove that. So very good investors talked to us, and we had the luxury to really choose the best investors out there. So the bootstrapping helped a lot.
That was sort of around 2010. Was it like a really strong climate then were they looking for startups, or was it,
No, 2010 was a year of pretty much a recession, and it wasn't what we see today. But again, the product, the traction, the organic growth, the love of the users, you can't buy this love. I say it many times because it's so true. The passion of the community and everybody who built Houzz was very clear, and we were able to get the best people out there.
So, I have another theory, too, that I think that you guys have been really great at identifying and totally nailing a vertical, which has been amazing. What's also interesting, though, is that you guys are not out of college, if you pardon me saying that.
No, we're not.
I mean,
it's not a bad thing.
You're a mom of three. You guys were, a married couple, already had a child when you started?
We had two when Houzz started, and
right.
we had our third 2 years ago.
Right. Yeah.
Yep.
Congratulations. So, did you find that was actually an advantage? I mean, do you feel like you guys are more seasoned? I mean, your husband was working at eBay at the time when you first started it as a pet project and everything. You were in banking.
Yeah, I was in an investment firm doing financial planning. I think that the fact that both of us came to it very mature helped us personally, but at the end of the day, it's not about the age or the timing. It's about how much passion and love do you bring to the product, and how much focus you're going to be. And I think both things for us were very clear. We love what we do. Otherwise, we wouldn't do it. This is such a crazy roller coaster, really. And it's not all just glory and fame and nice stuff. You have to go through bad times and difficulties as well. But if you're truly passionate about what you do and you really love it, and you're very focused and you know what is it that you're trying to do, it's very helpful. And then it's also helping you to get the third thing, which is the best people, both to help you grow the company. I'm very, very proud of all the people that work with us at Houzz. They're just the best partners ever, as well as we said, the best investors out there. And it's very, very important.
Yeah. Okay, so you guys have done a lot of things right, but would you say you hadn't made any rookie mistakes that you could share? Is there anything you would have done differently?
I think that early days, in terms of hiring and firing, we take a lot of time to vet all the candidates, which I think is great. And we still interview every single candidate, and we are very involved in the process. I think you need to let go when something doesn't work. And I think we are getting better at it over time. Obviously, it wasn't very natural early days. It's harder to let go when something doesn't work.
Yeah. I think that's probably the case for many industries, though, many walks of life and everything,
But I think, if I would have done it again, I would probably made this decision much quicker. It's better for everyone.
Yeah. Okay, so moving on a little. I want to talk about unicorns. So, okay. Now, I'm just going to preface this by saying Addie does not like the term unicorn.
I didn't say I don't like it.
What do you think? You were saying it's like a kid's toy. It's
I think that I have a little bit of a different definition of the unicorns that I would like to suggest.
Yeah.
Unicorns are magical creatures by nature. And I would like to see these unicorns being judged by the magic that they bring to their industries and to their users, rather by their price tag of what investors pay them. I think that you'll be able to cut through the noise and see a true unicorn if you look at that. Look for the magic, not for the price that is set by the valuation. That's what I say about unicorns.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think that, do you think that, like, okay, so I just say one thing here. So you guys, I'm not going to put you too much on the spot. You've never actually, like, admitted or actually disclosed your valuation, but I believe that TechCrunch wrote that you guys were in the multiple billions of valuation. Do you, I mean, would you say that you're in that club anyway, or, I mean...
I think the numbers are out there. We never confirmed a specific number.
Okay.
But again, I would like you to see the unicorn piece through that eyes. I strongly suggest that, because the magic of the transformation of some of these unicorns and what they bring to their industries and how they lead this transformation is so much more important than this specific price tag.
Yeah.
Which, again, in our case, I think that it was a huge vote of confidence from insiders, from our dear, wonderful investors that want to continue growing the business and support the company. But the magic is about the transformation.
Right. Do you, okay, good. Do you feel, though, that sometimes you guys are getting put into a strange sort of category then? Like, do people respond to Houzz differently when those numbers are out there? Is it something that, people step back a bit and say, whoa?
I think that most people that we talk to that support the company and are very involved, first of all, when we talk to users, they don't care about the valuations. What they care is what Houzz brings to their lives, to their businesses, how we are able to transform everything that they do day to day, whether it's a homeowner that is able to decorate a little room or build a custom home from scratch, doesn't matter what is the budget, or a professional that grew its business tremendously because of Houzz and providing services to clients all over the world. This is what it's all about. So they never talk about it. And when we talk about investors, again, I think that what they see is that love to the product. They see that leadership. And yes, they do see the strong business that we have behind it, obviously. But it's never by the definition. The valuation is not the definition that is being thrown in our face day in and day out. And we're not focused on that.
Good. Yeah, it's funny because I feel like with some startups, you do get that a little bit. They're sort of constantly trying to live up to their valuation or live down the sort of expectation, bring people down to earth on expectations that they have of them because of the numbers, But I feel like you guys have been pretty good at just kind of keeping your heads down and building, building what you have.
As I said, focus is everything, and we are here to keep providing the best user experience, the best product for this industry worldwide. And this is what we do day in and day out.
So this leads well into the next question I have, which is on acquisitions. So you guys bought Garden Web. It's the first and only acquisition you've made, right, in August. So that's bringing in, as the name would imply, gardening expertise in a community onto Houzz. So I guess it's a two-part question. I'm interested in hearing whether you're going to be, considering other acquisitions to build out the brand, and how do you see the brand going? Can you take Houzz beyond its name? Do you want to?
I think that we have an enormous opportunity in front of us to start with. The home remodeling and design industry, just between the remodeling and decorating pieces, just US and Europe, we are talking about $1.2 trillion industry, okay? This is a very big one that the transformation that we started here back in 2009 is just the beginning here in the US. We have the rest of the world, and we're still going to go deeper and wider in that front. In terms of acquisition, so we have a lot to do. Acquisitions were never a target. Let's go and grow by acquisitions, or let's go and acquire just for the sake of acquisition. if there is a good fit, we'll always look, and we have different companies coming our way. And if there is something that would have great synergy, like Garden Web, the content was great, the community was great, and we felt that that's going to help us. We were already the largest community for this industry, but that created a robust community worldwide with lots of gardening and home experts participating, which is wonderful. So we'll keep looking, and if something right will come our way, we'll do it.
So this is going to tap into your expertise now. So Houzz is, in the sort of generic term, is vertical marketplace, and I would say that you guys have done so well at it that I've seen references to the Houzz for weddings. That, there's the Houzz for various things. This idea that people want to reproduce what you guys have done for other spaces. So do you have like some advice for them? Because some of these work better than others, and there's been, the e-commerce industry is definitely, littered with a lot of, things that haven't done so well. Littered maybe isn't the right word, but you know what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think general advice to the people that want to do Houzz for different industries or other companies is, again, choose something that you are truly passionate about, be very, very focused, do it for the long term, and surround yourself by great people. Be prepared for a journey that every day would be wonderful. Don't prepare yourself for an exit or at some point in time. Just enjoy the everyday life. In terms of Houzz, I think that for us, it worked very well to put the product and user experience the top of our priority. Monetization followed later. Very strong business followed it because we did what our users wanted us to do. And that's, in general, a good thing to start with. Create a product that people really love and go from there.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Love is where it begins. Okay. Now you said, don't build with the idea of exit in mind. Very true. Now, what about for you guys? I know that you've said you guys are not for sale, so that kind of brings up a couple of options for where Houzz goes down the line. There's IPOs, there's raising more money. Where are you standing on that?
How about continuing building substantial business that is very transformative all over the world, making every homeowner or renter super happy about the new lifestyle that they get, making many, many hundreds of thousands of businesses successful all over the world, and just continuing with that mission.
Okay.
The best technology. I think that, again, fundraising, whether it's private or public, is not a goal. It's not a milestone. It's great that you have that support, specifically when it comes at the right time from the right people.
Right.
But it shouldn't be a goal. The goal is to create something substantial for the people that you are creating the product for.
Yeah, but
we keep our options open. At the moment, we decided to remain private company.
Right.
It works for us. There are lots of things that you can do while you are private that you have to tweak a bit once you are public. But at any given moment, we look at the circumstances and we'll decide what is the right thing to do now. And I think we are very fortunate to have all the options open given what we've built.
So that's very true. But so with the funding, though, let's say you're fine for now, but
we're fine for a long time.
Yeah, for a long time. Would you ever consider? And this is not about is Houzz raising money, but it's more, do you think that the climate right now is the kind where you have to go while the going is good, get while the going is good, and try to raise? Because it's a crazy time, and you look at some companies have literally just explicitly said, we don't need the money, but people are offering it at such good terms right now. We just need to take it because we have no idea what's going to happen. I've spoken with several founders who have said that. So
yeah, I think we always need to look at the circumstances, the outside work circumstances, as well as what's going on with the company. I think that, again, we're at the position because of our business that we can choose to do it, not to do it at any given point. Which is wonderful. You can bring great investors on board if you think that there is value into it, and you can decide not to do it if you don't want to do it.
Another question, just two last ones.
Okay.
If, for example, Ben from Pinterest came up to you with a check for $2.5 billion, would you sell? I mean, are you sort of like so tied to Houzz continuing that you wouldn't sell to anyone or anything at any cost? Or Is there a price ultimately?
I don't think there is a price. I don't think that we are trying
Yeah.
to sell. My parents taught me early stages in life, never say never. So I'm
Yeah.
not going to sit here on stage and say never. But that's not the purpose, really.
Yeah.
We are building something for the long term. We love what we do. We believe in it. And we believe that we have the right people in the company to continue building it for a great future.
Okay, final question. You guys started Houzz as a renovation project, and every interview with you for pretty much years. This was in 2009 that she started it with her husband, and there was every interview. Oh, we haven't actually finished the renovation. Have you finished it yet?
Yes, I can finally declare on this stage we had a big family event a week ago, so that pushed us. We still live in the same house that started Houzz, and it finally pushed us to complete the final renovation. We did the exterior and the landscape. But you know what? I thought about it yesterday. It's a never-ending story. While we finish the massive renovation, we're going to keep decorating. My baby is no longer a baby. He's 2 years old. He just said he's no longer want to stay in a crib. So now I need to turn this nursery into a toddler room. So you see, it's an ongoing thing, but the massive renovation for now is over.
Congratulations.
You got a scoop.
The scoop, everyone. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me over. Thank
Thanks.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.